Hi, today we want to discuss a new topic, trigonometric ratios 1. Trigonometry is the relationship between angles and sides of a triangle. In trigonometric ratios 1, we deal with the acute angles, that is angles from 0 to 90 degrees. And therefore, we use what we call the right triangle. In the right triangle, this angle here is 90. The side that is opposite the right angle here, we refer to it as the hypotenuse. If we consider this to be our subject angle, we refer to it as theta. Then the side that is opposite theta, we refer to it as opposite. And then the side that is next to this angle theta here, we refer to it as the adjacent side. So in trigonometric ratios 1, we'll be dealing with the relationship between angles and the sides of a right angle triangle. We have three relationships, and the first one is what we refer to as the sine. The sine, given a right angle triangle here, is the relationship between the subject angle theta there, its opposite side here, and the hypotenuse here. This angle here, the opposite and the hypotenuse have a relationship, and that relationship is what we refer to as the sine. And therefore, we use the word SO, which means sine of theta is given by opposite over the hypotenuse. Number 2 is the cosine. If you are given a right angle triangle there, we have said this is the hypotenuse. If we take this to be our subject angle theta, this is the opposite, and this is the adjacent. So cosine is the relationship between this angle theta here, the adjacent side, and the hypotenuse. So we rub opposite there and say cosine CAH, C-A-H, meaning the cos of angle theta here equals to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. That relationship is referred to as the cosine. Number 3 is what we refer to as the tangent. We have said, given a right angle triangle or subject angle there theta, then the relationship between this angle here and the opposite side and the adjacent is what we refer to as the tangent. That is TOA, meaning tan of this angle theta here equals to opposite over the adjacent. So if we combine those three relationships together, we get SOHCAHTOA. We coin the word SOHCAHTOA. From this word that we have coined, you can see clearly sine of theta equals to opposite over hypotenuse. You can see clearly here that cos of theta equals to adjacent over the hypotenuse. And you can see clearly that tan of theta equals to opposite over the adjacent. So we are going to take two examples to explain what you have discussed. So in the first example, we want to consider a figure given AB, which is 5 centimeters, CB 12 centimeters, and then you are told to calculate A, the sine of x, and B, cos of x. So we have said if you are to take A and you are told get sine of x, we said sine, if we write our SOHCAHTOA here, sine stands for opposite over hypotenuse. And you can see clearly that our opposite is 5. So sine x equals to 5. And our hypotenuse is not given, but this being a right angle triangle, we can use Pythagoras theorem to get this side here. So we say 5 squared plus 12 squared will give us b squared here. So b squared equals to 25 plus 144. B squared equals to 169. B equals to 13. So we are saying this is 13. So sine of x is opposite over hypotenuse 5 over 13. And therefore our sine x equals to 0.3846. Part B, if they ask you what is the cos of x, we say cos comes from here, adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is 12, hypotenuse is 13. And therefore cos of x is 12 divided by 13 to get 0.9231. On to number 2. Given that x is an acute angle and cos of x equals to 2 root 5 over 5, find without using mathematical tables or calculator tan of 90 minus x. So if you have your right angle triangle here, then you're told that this is x. We've been told that cos of x, remember we said we coined the word SOHCAHTOA, meaning cos of x is adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent here is 2 root 5. And the hypotenuse here is 5. So we have been told to get tan of 90 minus x. This angle here, the complementary angle, the 90 minus x is that angle there. So we want to get tan of 90 minus x, and you can see clearly tan is opposite over adjacent. This becomes the adjacent of this angle here. So we need to calculate this side here, and to calculate this side here, we use the Pythagoras theorem. This is hypotenuse, so we say 5 squared minus 2 root 5, all this squared, then square root, and this will give us 25 minus 20 root, which is equals to root of 5. So this side here is root 5. So if you are asked to get tan of 90 minus x, then this is the angle. It is tan opposite to root 5 over adjacent, which is root 5. And therefore tan 90 minus x is this will cancel out, so that you are left with 2. and that is the answer. Thank you so much.